Okay, so today what we wanted to do is share some insights into how to deliver a really great presentation. Now that might be a presentation that you've got to do as part of a job interview, something you've got to do at school or at college or at university, and it might be just to a couple of people or it might be to a group of people. But what we want to do is give you a number of top tips about how to make a really great presentation. So I think the first thing to say is the importance of preparation. Too many people think with presentations they can wing it. And there aren't many people who are able to wing it when they present. So preparing is so important. What are the key messages you want them to get across? And then the other piece of advice is often when you have to do a presentation, it's you're told you've got 5 minutes or 3 minutes or 7 minutes. So as part of preparation, I'm a really big fan of actually saying it out loud. So take yourself into a quiet room and actually do the presentation out loud, because how long it takes for you to speak it compared to how it sounds in your head are two very different things. So preparation, really important with any presentation you do. But what can often happen when people are preparing, they think too much about the words they're going to say and they agonise over saying exactly the right thing when they're presenting. And there are some other things that are really important when you present. And that's what you have to remember is when you are presenting, people don't just hear the words that you say, they see you. They don't just listen to the words, they listen to things like your tone and your pace. So when you're presenting, the other thing to think about is your tone of voice. Okay, and as much as possible try and vary your tone, because that helps hold people's attention. And the other thing to do is to vary your pace. So sometimes you might want to speak a little bit more quickly, and other times, particularly if you want to make a really important point, actually pace is a great way of emphasising an important point. So tone and pace are really important. So how you say it really matters. The other thing that matters when you're presenting, because they see you, is body language. So some things that are really important when it comes to presenting, so some tips I'm going to give is eye contact. Eye contact is very important with your audience. Don't spend your whole time presenting talking to your shoes or staring at the roof or staring out the window. Have eye contact with the people you're talking to, and if there's more than a couple of people, make sure you have eye contact with as many people as you can, but don't get caught in some kind of staring competition. You don't have to look at them all the time. It's okay to look away a little bit and then come back to them, but eye contact is important. Also, a lot of people when they present, some people are very sort of mobile when they present and like to move around a lot. Try not to move around too much, and also be aware of how you use your hands. So a lot of people when they're presenting, they kind of lose track of what's going on with the rest of their body and start waving their hands around in a lunatic way or standing in a really weird way. So be conscious of your body language when you are presenting to people. And you can use your hands to make impact, but be wary of being a helicopter and trying to take off, because it just distracts people. And the other really obvious thing to say when you present is to smile. Okay, that makes a really big difference. And the other great thing about smiling is that you'll get it back. If you smile at your audience, they're more likely to smile at you. Presenting is a really scary thing to do. You know, everyone finds it scary. And what we're looking for is some positive feedback. So if you smile at someone, guess what? You typically tend to get it back. So smiling will also make people warm to you, and you're likely then to see a smiling audience, which will make you feel more confident. A couple of other things about, again, the presentation. Ideally, at the beginning, at the end, you want to start with impact and finish with impact. So you need to start with impact by having something, impactful set at the start. And the end is so important when you present, because people always remember the last thing that they heard first. So when anyone is recalling anything, they'll remember the last thing they heard, not some of the earlier things they heard. So your close, how you finish your presentation, is really important. So try not to fall into the trap of when you come to the end of your presentation, you finish what you've got to say and you're like, well, thank you very much, that kind of finishes my presentation. That's a really disappointing way to end. It's much better to end with some impact in terms of, so the key point I want to be making from this presentation today is I really want to work for this organisation and I really want to work for you. So that's a much stronger way to close any presentation you do. So in summary, when it comes to presenting, don't just focus on the words that you've got to say. You need to think about things like tone and pace and your body language. You want to project confidence, even though you might not be feeling it on the inside. And do remember, we never ever look as nervous as we feel. We never look as nervous as we feel. So your stomach might be churning, but most people don't see the extent of that churning going on. So focus on those things and remember that all important close. Finish on a really strong high point and then pause and then you're done. So I hope you found that useful. 5 minutes, hints and tips on how to make a really great presentation. So good luck with the presentations that you do. Put those tips into action and you'll make a really great impact. So thanks very much.